John Pizzarelli played of Our House.
Uh-huh.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but it was Graham Nash and Joni Mitchell at a piano, and Joni Mitchell was singing and kind of half laughing through it.
Uh-huh.
And I am a bit of a music nerd, so I'm usually up on such things when they're out in the world. And I was very stunned to learn that was a thing.
You weren't hip to that recording.
I was not at all.
And now you are. And, that is what Jazz88 really does for people, not just our audience, but the staff here as well, the DJs. I learn something new almost every day I tune into Jazz88. And we really hope you do, too. This is Jazz88, the Fun Drive, the Jazz Impulse edition. We're going to start that up very soon. It's our program every Saturday here, 7 to 10 p.m. on Jazz88. Want to let you in on some weather right now. Looking at lows in the upper 40s tonight. Looks like it's going to get pretty windy later on, 30 to 40 miles an hour after midnight tonight. Lows in the upper 40s and currently 67 degrees in the Twin Cities. But you're going to call us up. 612-668-1735 is the number. We have some phone people ready for your calls and ready to take your donations to Jazz88. Jazz88.fm is where you can go online and do all that business as well. Christian, how are things going with you? Yeah?
Good. Excellent.
I feel like we haven't been on the air together in a minute.
No, I think it was last pledge drive that we were on the air together. And I think, as I discussed last time we were on the air together, you and I used to cross paths out in the DJ world.
Yeah.
Frequently.
And here we still do on the air. It's going to be a really fun night. Do hang out with us. Do become a part of this fall drive here at Jazz 88. And we are going to kick off the Jazz Impulse very shortly after this.
The Jazz Impulse fills your Saturday night up right on Jazz 88.
The Jazz Impulse presents music that's lighting up stages around town, live in studio and in the clubs, guest DJ sets, and special guests. It's the soundtrack to your Saturday night. The Jazz Impulse, tonight, 7 to 10 on Jazz 88.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
I wanted to shout out Jazz 88 radio station. So what you're hearing tonight is being broadcast live on air, which is so cool. And it's the first time we've been able to do this at Berlin, so I'm super pumped. And huge shout out to Jazz 88 for being our local jazz radio station, playing local jazz artists, putting us on this literal pedestal. Shout out to Jazz 88.
And this is Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse. Starting off where we left off last week here, a performance from Kavi Kavaret. Why can't I say? Oh. Man, the drum solo was incredible that night. Kevin Washington on drums. Did you get to hear this, Christian?
I did. And Kevin Washington is amazing. Like he's a force of nature. And and this is a D'Angelo song, and I'm racking my brain, and I can't
trying to remember what it is. I heard him preview that, but I couldn't name it either. But they do an incredible job. Kaviech Kavaraj, the pianist, and Omar Abdul Karim was the trumpet player. It was kind of like the first time they performed a lot of this music and with this quartet. And Jeff Bailey played bass that night. There's Kevin just going nuts. That was a lot of fun, and I wanted to play that, number one, to show you what we do here on the Jazz Impulse. If this is the first time you've tuned in to the program, welcome. My name is Danny Sigelman. I'm bringing you music every Saturday here at Jazz 88, and it's always a privilege to do so. Kind of bring to you what's happening around town each and every night, sometimes literally from one of the stages here in the Twin Cities. Berlin was the spot last Saturday night. You been to Berlin?
I have not yet, and I've been meaning to, because everybody who goes there talks about how it is just an amazing space, and it sounds really good, as we can hear here. And I need to check it out.
And so supporting the performers and the venues and the community of jazz here in the Twin Cities, really big part of what we do at the Jazz Impulse and at Jazz 88 every day, every week here. 612-668-1735 is the number to call up and become a part of that whole equation. Jazz88.fm online. And I wanted to play that piece, number one, because it was just amazing, but I also neglected last week to give proper credit to the people that kind of helped make that happen. It's not just me every week, but our crew and the crew at the Berlin really helped put things together. So shout out to Elliot Wilder, who's doing sound that night at Berlin. He's an incredible sound man, musician himself, and it was great to work with him on that, as well as our own Andrew Hansen here at Jazz 88, who's been running around to the clubs, plugging in and sending me the signal. It's a really fun, it's a thrilling moment anytime you're not totally sure you're all connected and you go live and the band is there and it all clicks and it all pops. And to bring that live energy to the radio, it takes effort, it takes some work, and it takes your support. Jazz88.fm online, hit the big blue donate now button, or call up we have some friendly phone operators here at Jazz 88, 612-668-1735.
And it looks like if you give $88.50, you get a blanket.
I know. Yeah, it is blanket weather, isn't it, Christian?
Well, maybe not today, but tomorrow is going to be blanket weather. This evening is going to be blanket weather.
Yeah, I was thrown for a loop. I went outside and I was like, should I wear a sweatshirt? But we've had some really great support so far. We started this weekend, and people are coming out for the fall drive this time around, and we can't be more thankful. I want to give a shout out to Cynthia in Bloomington. She really enjoyed the new Shamrock Shore program and good acoustics with Eric Brandt. She's a fan of Jazz 88 all around. And in San Marcos, California. Shout out to our California listeners. She loves all the programming and the time difference. We're getting the late night shows at 8 p.m. So that's kind of a bonus. I guess I'm like their dinner music in California. So props to all the people that have been supporting Jazz 88 this time around and continue to do so and show up for us the way we try to show up for you here in the studio every day playing music. And I'm so honored to have Christian Fritz with me here tonight. Christian, how long have you been at Jazz 88?
I think I've been here 10 years.
Wow.
I was, I'd have to check my email, but I think this summer marked the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. Do you get a golden blazer for that or something?
I don't know.
Maybe.
And my story is kind of unique because I'm a volunteer.
Yeah.
And I kind of, as I mentioned earlier, you and I used to DJ together quite a bit at clubs, and I kind of, as I got older, didn't necessarily want to be out on like school nights until, bar time all the time. And so I was trying to figure out what my next chapter would be.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the station.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I still, and I absolutely love music. And so this was my opportunity to kind of like still do what I love and be a part of a station that I love. And they took a chance, and here I am.
And it's people like yourselves and people in this community. I say it all the time. Twin Cities is such a huge music community. The record collecting community itself, I know we're both a big part of. And to kind of bring that on the air as we do as DJs here is a huge privilege and a great honor. Christian does an amazing job with it, and we are going to continue to do so as we move along here in the drive, and the amount of support we've gotten from everybody is very affirming towards that. So, Christian, you brought in, I'm already blown away by your selections here because you brought in a Jazz 12-inch. I mean, those don't exist, do they?
Apparently they do in Japan, and so I brought in a Japanese.
Is it a dance 12-inch?
No. This is straight up 60s Buddy Rich doing just a stone cold classic.
Yeah.
With his then teenage daughter on vocals doing a cover of a Sonny and Cher tune.
Gotcha.
I prefer this version 100 times to the Sonny and Cher.
So this isn't part of Buddy Rich's trance period or anything?
No.
Okay. I've never seen a Blue Note 12-inch, so I'm excited to play this and see how fast it goes. But he's doing The Beat Goes On.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember what year this record is?
Oh, I want to say 67 or 68.
Okay.
It's like this like live record that he did, which I think this is kind of the most memorable thing from it. But then I got this weird Japanese 12-inch.
And that's how it's going to go. Me and Christian are going to be, kind of tossing the records back and forth here and really mixing it up. I always like having guests in here. So thank you for being with me. And thanks for being a part of Jazz 88. 612-668-1735. Call up our friends. Who do we got? We got Peter and Andrew on the phones. They're going to love having your company and taking your contribution to Jazz 88. Jazz88.fm. Let's go to Buddy Rich. He's over here on the turntable. The beat certainly does go on. It's here on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse.
Drums keep pounding a rhythm to the brain. La-di-da-di-dee, la-di-da-di-da. Charleston was once the rage, History has banned that stage.
I'm Judy Carmichael. On my show, Jazz Inspired, I talk with celebrated creative artists who love jazz. This week, I talk with singer-songwriter Nicole Zaritis about her Grammy-winning CD with Christian McBride, How Love Begins. Please join us.
Monday night at 10 on Jazz 88.
Some days, I feel so down, I can barely get out of bed. Is this depression?
I feel so tense and worried all the time. Is this anxiety?
Check up on your mental health. Take an online mental health screening at mentalhealthmn.org. Mental Health Minnesota has online mental health screenings, resources, support, and connections to treatment and crisis services. All anonymous, confidential, free of charge, and open 7 days a week. Mental Health Minnesota is here for you. mentalhealthmn.org. Sponsored by Mental Health Minnesota, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
I don't believe you.
into some territory here, Christian.
Yes.
David Frischberg.
Yes.
I'm not hip, man.
St. Paul, Minnesota native.
Yeah.
Did one amazing record for CTI in 1970 that's co-produced by Margot Guryan. The track we heard was I Don't Believe You, but he is most famous for being part of the crew of people that brought us Schoolhouse Rock in the 1970s.
Ah, okay.
But,
Is he a guitar player?
I think he plays piano.
Okay.
I think he's doing the keyboards. I think he's doing the Rhodes we're hearing in that track.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a vocalist. And I never got to see him.
Yeah.
He was like living in LA or whatever. I know that he did play the Dakota a few times. And,
okay.
He's no longer with us, but I did not get to see him.
Well, absolutely with us in spirit tonight.
Yes.
And that is what we like to do here on the Jazz Impulse, kind of dig out some of the hidden gems from music's past or something that might inform the future as a lot of music's kind of getting rediscovered. And to be able to bring that out on the radio here, it's always a privilege. And we thank everybody for so much support in being able to do this every week and every day here at Jazz 88. 612-668-1735. That's the number you're going to want to call up and help contribute and keep the spirit going here at Jazz 88, jazz88.fm online. We did a Buddy Rich 12-inch, and that was smoking. We heard The Beat Goes On featuring his own 13-year-old daughter at the time on vocals.
Kathy, correct?
Kathy,
yes.
yeah. And she's kind of continued on to carry on his legacy, and that must have been one of her first gigs. You know, imagine having Buddy Rich as a dad.
I don't know. And I was mentioning to Danny when we were playing that about how he has a reputation for being a very difficult. I mean, he pushed the people he worked with. But, shortly, probably a year or so before he died, he did a short-lived PBS live show, and he had different guests. And there's the footage with him and Mel Torme. I got Mel Torme after watching him with Buddy Rich, but Buddy Rich is not only just Animal from the Muppets on drums, but he's just soaked with sweat and is just
a pretty volatile character for sure on and off the stage. But the recordings live on. That was a really fun one. Thanks for bringing that in. This is the Jazz Impulse. Danny Sigelman, your host. I do this every Saturday, 7 to 10. And my special guest, Christian Fritz, and I, man, you get us together. The music just gets flowing. And we love all the support that we've gotten here tonight so far. 612-668-1735 to call up, and we got some people on the line ready to take your call. Jazz88.fm to contribute online. And some people we want to thank. Steven from Victoria loves the station. He's pledged. We have Jerry in St. Louis Park. Shout out to St. Louis Park. He's got the Jazz 88 blanket, and he's listening all the time here and loves the Saturday night programs. Thank you, Jerry. We love you too. Scott in Minneapolis also got the Jazz 88 blanket. And you can get the Jazz 88 blanket at the $88.50 mark. And that is just perfect timing, I think, for the winter, huh?
Yes, except I keep thinking that if I were to get the blanket, my dog would steal the blanket.
The dog, the pets usually get first dibs on blankets. That's for sure. Maybe get an extra one for your pet. I don't know. Sounds like a plan. But we got so much music tonight. I put together a nice little set here, but I'm having a little trouble deciding, Christian. What should we go into here? Do we want 70s rock vibe, or do we want 90s indie rock vibe?
Ooh, how about we go with the 70s vibe for now? But we're gonna keep the 90s.
I mean, we'll get into some 90s.
We're gonna get into that. Yes,
and this might even be sooner. But I'm just on a real Susie Quattro kick of late.
Oh, nice.
So we're gonna do some of her. We're gonna get her music out. But I have a new record here I just got recently. Orchestra Akiko-kan.
Okay.
Are you hip?
I am not hip to this at all. I'm a hard person to stump. And you have stumped me.
The Daptone record label always puts out some really great stuff, including this kind of Latin group called Orchestra Akiko-kan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't know much about them other than I think I've heard some of their music on compilations and whatnot. In any case, we are going to the turntable. We're going to spin it for you here tonight. The tune is called Con Altura. It's here on Jazz 88, 612-668-1735. Call up and be a part of this fall drive here on Jazz 88.
rápido, no tengo cura. Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago. Demasiadas noches de travesura. Vivo rápido, no tengo cura. Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago. Demasiadas noches de travesura. Vengo rápido, no tengo cura. Y de joven para la sepultura. Con altura, con altura. Muévelo, 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 muévelo. Con altura.
It's the Jazz 88 live music calendar for Saturday with shows at 6:30 and 9. Music Soul Child, Dakota, Minneapolis, with shows at 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock. A tribute to the music of Luther Vandross, Crooners, Minneapolis. At 7 p.m., Barley Jacks, Crooners, Minneapolis. And at 8 p.m., Debbie Briggs, Velveteen, Stillwater. Find more on the live music calendar at jazz88.fm.
Our love is alive, and so we begin. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, stumbling in. Our love is a flame, burning within. Now and then, firelight will catch us, stumbling in. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you know these reckless thoughts of mine are following you. I'm falling for you, whatever you do. 'Cause baby, you've shown me so many things that I never knew. Whatever it takes, baby, I'll do it for you. Our love is alive, and so we begin. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, stumbling in. Our love is a flame, burning within. Now and then, firelight will catch us, stumbling in. You were so young, oh, and I was so free. I may have been young, but baby, that's not what I wanted to be. Well, you were the one. Oh, why was it me? 'Cause baby, you showed me so many things that I'd never see. Whatever you need, baby, you got it for me. Our love is alive, and so we begin. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, stumbling in. Our love is a flame, burning within. Now and then, firelight will catch us, stumbling in. Stumbling in. Stumbling in. Foolishly laying our hearts on the table, stumbling in. Ah, stumbling in.
2002, the year of A Band of Bees. Their record was called Sunshine Hit Me. Were you hip to the Band of Bees?
I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I heard them.
I try to remember who they might have played with in town. I might have seen them. It's one of those records that, I haven't gone back to in a while, but man, I love that tune.
It's great.
Yeah. Chicken Payback from A Band of Bees here on the Jazz Impulse tonight. Before that, Susie Quattro, 1978, the year of Stumblin', and that record kind of, would you say it kind of falls more into like the yacht rock genre?
It kind of does, which is funny because she was the Leather Tuscadero.
Mm-hmm. And Chris Norman was the co-vocalist on that. I don't know that he had much career after that. Maybe.
I can't, think of anything else,
I rediscovered that song. It was in a movie a few years ago, Licorice Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good soundtrack.
Yes.
Kind of pulled a lot of kind of obscure tunes from that era. Orchestra Akiko Khan did Con Altura, new Latin sounds here on Jazz 88 on the Jazz Impulse. Your friend Danny Sigelman, the host tonight here, and Christian Fritz, my wingman.
Yes.
And we are just excited about all the support we've gotten here. It is the Jazz 88 Fall Drive here, and we are asking you to support what we do here every day, every week here on Jazz 88. 612-668-1735. Give our friendly phone folks a call on their Saturday night. They're working for you and for us, for everybody, and Jazz 88, and we appreciate all the support and work you've given us by contributing to Jazz 88. Jazz88.fm is where you can do so online, and we have the new member card is very cool. That's a new thing for this drive, and you can get the member card at as much as $10 a month gets you the card as a sustaining member, and it gives you deals on so many spots that have been participating and helping support Jazz 88. There's a lot of love going around here, Christian.
And it's a digital member card. So it's just like, like me, it's just like half the time. Post-pandemic, the one thing that always gets me is how many times I'll go to see a friend's band, and there's somebody that wants like a $10 cover, which is totally reasonable. But I don't have cash on me anymore. So it's really great that we're doing the member card as a digital card. So it's just like, oh, wait, I got my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're making it as easy as possible to enjoy the music and all the just all the great programming here at Jazz 88 and supporting all the people in our community that support us. It's just a beautiful cycle of love and music and community. We're so honored to be able to do this for you every day here. And for me to come in every Saturday night, it's a party, man. I feel like I'm DJing a party for everybody else, and I'm not at the party myself,
You're hosting the party.
I'm maybe the host, yes. I guess. I don't know. That's a lot of pressure, Christian. But I'm always proud and privileged to do so. 612-668-1735. Call up and support Jazz 88, just like Jessica from St. Paul. She's come through, made a fantastic donation tonight. Stephen from Victoria loves Jazz 88, and Jerry in St. Louis Park got the Jazz 88 blanket, which you can do so yourself. Blankets for everybody, I say, and that comes to you if you donate $88.50. I'd say that's, a blanket lasts forever.
Yes.
Right? Well, we got so much music to get to tonight, and the party just keeps raging on. We're going to kind of pick things up here. Eddie Harris? Is that where we're going?
Yes.
Tell me about this Eddie Harris record, Christian.
So this is just from the best of, because it's funny because the album that this track is on is not this version. I think it might only be on the best of. But Eddie Harris is like one of the first people to do like electric saxophone. I think he was like the first guy to. I mean, clearly, he's playing a saxophone.
I remember I see pictures of Eddie Harris on the records, and I'm like, why is there a phone cable coming out of his saxophone?
Yes, and so he's kind of like somebody who really kind of pushed boundaries and changed the genre, and it's just mesmerizingly wonderful stuff.
Huge fan of Eddie Harris. And, I think the legend goes that him and John Coltrane were working together a little bit before Coltrane passed. And he'd gotten John maybe his own electric saxophone to try out. And, the possibilities could have gone in all directions from there. But we have the music. And this tune we're going to hear is Listen Here.
Yes.
Appropriately enough. It's Eddie Harris. Do we know who's playing on this one? What kind of band did he have?
Let's see.
Usually these
joy
guys...
of the best of is you have to read the small print. We have Melvin Jackson on piano. We have Richard Smith on drums. Ray Barretto on Latin percussion.
It's dangerous.
I'm sorry, Melvin Jackson's on bass. Jody Christian's on piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Produced by R.F. Martin, 1967.
Boom. 612-668-1735 or jazz88.fm online. It's Eddie Harris here on the Jazz Impulse.
The Saturday Variety on Jazz 88 is part of your lifestyle. Support it as a new or renewing member. Time to act. It takes just a couple moments to join at jazz88.fm.
You know it had to happen in New York town. The kids started rapping and it got around. It's a fun city, #1 city. Fun city, city #1. Happy vibrations floating around. Soulful sensations from the underground. It's a move on city. It's a groove on city. Fun city. City #1. Loving's, being's, every kind of happenings. In city, win city. Smoking's, joking. Get yourself a token and give your mind a ride through. Fun city, #1 city. Fun city, city #1. Teeny bopper smiling in 1,000 places. Hippies painting flowers on their pretty faces. Wow city, it's the now city. Fun city, city #1. Loving's, being's, every kind of happenings. In city, win city. Smoking's, joking's. Get yourself a token and give your mind a ride through. Fun city, #1 city. Fun city, city #1. Teeny bopper smiling in 1,000 places. Hippies painting flowers on their pretty faces. Wow city, it's the now city. Fun city, city #1. City #1. City #1.
and you're listening to Jazz 88. Welcome to our Saturday night. This is the Jazz Impulse coming at you every Saturday, 7 to 10 here. Fresh from the Twin Cities. Danny Sigelman, your host. I'm looking at Twin Cities weather tonight. Looking clear, lows in the upper 40s for the overnight. Heavy winds after midnight, looking at 30 to 40 miles an hour. Lows in the upper 40s tonight. This is the fall drive here at Jazz 88. We're asking for your contribution to continue the great radio that happens every day here at 88.5 and online at jazz88.fm. Call up 612-668-1735. That number will get you in touch with our operators who are ready and willing to take your donations tonight here on Jazz 88. And we're going to keep the show rolling. I got Christian Fritz with me tonight. Christian, how's it been going for you?
This has been a blast so far.
It's a ton of fun.
We're not even halfway.
We got a long ways to go. And the amount of support we've gotten has just been really gratifying. And we want to thank everybody that's been calling up. And we'll continue to do so tonight. But we just heard some Belfast Gypsies. That was called The Gorilla.
I loved it.
That was
completely
nice.
Not familiar with them. I would not have guessed that was the direction we were going to go with a band called the Belfast Gypsies.
Right. The Levitts before that was some nice family band stuff. The tune we heard was Fun City. And I'm trying to figure out when this actually was probably recorded.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it came out in 68.
Okay.
And it's on ESP Disc which was a legendary free jazz label that gave us like early Pharoah Sanders, I think Sun Ra for sure, I think maybe Albert Eiler.
Yeah. So some outsider stuff.
And so and then a family band called the Levitts. And you were looking at this. I haven't busted this disc out in quite a while.
Yeah.
Chick Corea's on it.
Chick's on there. Yeah, they got a huge band. That was very cool. That was a lot of fun. Started the set off with Eddie Harris and Listen Here on Jazz 88 tonight. The Jazz Impulse, we're bouncing all over the musical map. We will continue to do so and have a lot more music coming up. It's all happening right after this on Jazz 88.
Or the next Jazz Night in America, Bad, Not Good. How a couple of jazz students from Toronto went rogue from performing jazz standards to becoming the darling instrumental ensemble of the hip-hop elite. That's next time on Jazz Night in America.
Tonight at 10.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
Shade your eyes, show your teeth.
don't forgive, but please remember me now. Please don't forgive, but please remember me now. I used to love her. Do you remember? Lita, will you go? I used to love her. Do you remember? Lita, will you go?
It's Jazz 88 and the Jazz Impulse, and man, Bullfrog Bear was the name of that band. Yeah, Christian.
Yes, I take your Susie Quattro and raise you a Gene
Yeah,
Simmons,
yeah.
1968.
Yeah, you certainly do. Wow. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, any Kiss fan might be hip to that, but it's that's really a deep cut. Bullfrog Bear.
Like, it's a very appropriate song to have on, for a jazz radio program.
Sure. Yeah. The song was called Lita. I'm guessing this is like a bootleg 45. kind of thing.
I am not sure.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
ask too many questions, but
Yeah.
the song has legitimately been released.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
So I'm not like, Gene, if his people are listening, please don't.
That is a genuine deep cut. So hopefully folks dug that. Hopefully people aren't asking for their money back at this point. Oh, you get it all here on the Jazz Impulse. We went to 1971 Spain before that. The group was called Circulos, and their version of Respect. New Orleans started us off. Soul vocal group The Vibrettes did Humpty Bump, 1973, the year of that single. And this is what we are all about here, the good and the bad sometimes here on the Jazz Impulse. And we are just loving all the support from our listeners we're getting tonight. 612-668-1735 is your number to call up and contribute to the fall drive. I mean, maybe there's a diehard Kiss fan that never heard that before, and they're ready to just
or somebody who like us grew up with Kiss.
They're
Like,
gonna donate their Kiss casket to Jazz 88.
For me, it's like, so there's certain things that make me instantly into like a 6-year-old kid. Watching the A-Team and reruns of the A-Team and like kid listening to Kiss, because that Phantom of the Theme Park movie, which by the way is borderline unwatchable as an
Yeah, it's a
adult,
tough one.
But as a kid, like that just, oh my God, that just like, I thought they were the coolest band on earth. And now I'm like listening to jazz.
Yeah.
So all, interesting.
A friend of mine has been talking to me. He knows I'm a big Kiss fan, talking about doing a jazz Kiss tribute band.
Wow.
Maybe we got to put it out there for folks.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That,
and, I would be the Peter Crick. I'd probably go as Eric Carr if I was the drummer of the Kiss Tet. But
nice.
In any case, that was fun. Thanks for bringing that in.
Yeah.
It's kind of these obscurities. It's interesting from a historical standpoint. That song wasn't that horrible. But apparently that was one of the first recordings Gene Simmons ever did.
Yes. And I would prefer that to actually some of the later Kiss.
Yeah. It's better than, I can't even say. In any case, the Jazz Impulse rolls on tonight, and all the love and support we're getting from people like Steve from Minneapolis. The station is such a gem. He loves hearing from the student interns, and the musical future, according to Steve, is quite bright. He's a first-time donor. He's hanging out with us, listening to the Jazz Impulse in his living room, and as we're spinning records for him, they're loving it. I always wonder what people are doing on a Saturday night that they're listening. Are they out and about? Are they in their cars? Are they in the middle of a field with a bonfire somewhere? Or are they at home, doing a puzzle? I don't know. it's a fun thought.
Yes. I never I never know either. Like it's when because I'm more the jazz futures guy.
Yeah. And I think there's people that tune in for longer periods of time and then shorter. It's I like to kind of cover it all. And so we kind of throw it out there in a style every Saturday night here that hopefully is very entertaining and fun and even a little bit educational, as we do try to educate here at Jazz 88, and a valuable resource for the community. Not just the music community, but, being a part of Minneapolis Public Schools. It means a lot that you support us and we can support the community here at Jazz 88. 612-668-1735, and give Andrew and Peter a call, say hello, and help us out here on the Fall Drive, jazz88.fm. And so you're very excited to go to this concert tomorrow night, Christian.
I am extremely excited. I saw Air when they were at First Ave on this tour, and they're playing the State Theater. I would say the three most crowded things I ever saw at First Ave, just because of like the hype, was Erykah Badu on her first tour, which was stunning, but a little annoying because Prince was watching from the VIP room. And so she's in a overpacked nightclub and talking to him the whole time, where it's like, hi, over here.
Yeah.
And Fugees on the Score tour, and Air. I would say those are like the three, they
packed First Avenue. I remember going to that show.
There was so many people.
Yeah.
And it was great. And now they're doing the anniversary. I think it's the 25th anniversary, or the 20th or 25th. I think it's the 25th.
Moon Safari.
A Moon Safari.
That is so cool. It's great they're playing music. I don't know that they've stayed together all this time or not, but
I don't know either.
Definitely a band from that era that was, not necessarily like super popular, but had kind of that niche, and they got involved in doing film scores and all that great music from those records. But the Moon Safari record, to hear that live now, you're going to have a great time, Christian. And we're going to play. What are we going to play?
So we're going to hear
EP, right?
Yeah, this is from before Moon Safari. I think they did a couple singles for Mowax, and it was compiled later with this Premier Symptoms EP.
Yeah.
But I think the track we're going to hear is called Casanova 70.
Okay, it's here on the Jazz Impulse. It's Air on Jazz 88.
And don't forget, jazz88.fm, 612-668-1735. If you want to show us some love, we're showing you some love.
Yeah, we're giving it back to you here. Thanks so much for all the support. Here's Air on Jazz 88.
The room was filled with talk for anyone listening. I found a spot by the door with no one around. Let my mind go out of tune. Out of tune. I kept a smile on my face for anyone looking. Tried to turn away questions before being asked. Let my mind go out of tune, out of tune. I wasn't close to the film without really watching. Said, who's the guy with the gun? As if I was involved. Let my mind go out of tune, out of tune. Out of tune, out of tune, out of tune.
Feeling the pulse of the Twin Cities, the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
ขึ้นขึ้นลงลงลงลงขึ้นขึ้นไม่ยังไม่ยืนขึ้นขึ้นลงลงบังขึ้นแต่เย็นไปลงขอนแจงขอบฟ้าไม่แดงก็ไม่ยอมลงถึงใครจะห้ามมันก็ไม่ฟังมันขึ้นไม่ยั้งถึงใครไล่ส่งรู้หรือเปล่าว่าอะไรกันรู้หรือเปล่าว่าอะไรกัน นั่นคือพระจันทร์น้ำมันขึ้นมันลงขึ้นขึ้นลงลงลงลงขึ้นขึ้นไม่ยังไม่ยืนขึ้นขึ้นลงลงบางคืนตอนเช้าหลังเจ้าไก่โหพุบลุกโผล่โผล่ขึ้นโลไม่ลงพอตกตอนเย็นอ่อนเรียวอ่อนแรงสีเปลี่ยนเป็นแดงดูเหมือนกระดงรู้หรือเปล่าอย่าเดาเดี๋ยวผิดรู้หรือเปล่าอย่าเดาเดี๋ยวผิดคือพระอาทิตย์เช้าขึ้นเย็นลงขึ้นขึ้นลงลงลงลงขึ้นขึ้นไม่ยังไม่ยืนขึ้นขึ้นลงลงอย่างที่สามเลวสามรายกาดมันขึ้นพวดพลาดขึ้นแล้วไม่ลงทำไมจึงขึ้นขึ้นจริงไม่รู้ได้แต่ยืนดูเห็นขึ้นจงจงรู้หรือเปล่าว่าคืออะไรรู้หรือเปล่าว่าคืออะไรก็สินค้าเมืองไทยละขึ้นไม่ยอมลงขึ้นขึ้นลงลงลงลงขึ้นขึ้นไม่ยังไม่ยืนขึ้นขึ้นลงลงไอ้อย่างที่สามเลวสามรายกาดมันขึ้นพรวดพลาดขึ้นแล้วไม่ลงทำไมจึงขึ้นขึ้นจริงไม่รู้ได้แต่ยืนดูเห็นขึ้นจงจงรู้หรือเปล่าว่าคืออะไร
Do not attempt to adjust your radio. There's really nothing
สิ
wrong.
นค้าเมืองไทยละขึ้นไม่ยอมลง
I mean, you know, they got the riff down pretty good.
Yes. And the funny thing is though Finders Keepers reissued this. It's a Thai guy by the name of Sarang Santi.
Yeah.
And they credit the song as Iron Man. And as I was saying, there is no, I mean, he's clearly using the riff, but there's no way that is a cover of Iron Man.
Yeah, he's kind of sampling the riff, you know. I think the kids call that an interpolation of a former song.
But, you know, it's still pretty awesome. It'd be funny.
Cool.
I would love to see a translation of the lyrics because maybe he's actually explaining the story of
the Iron Man
in Thai.
And then the other side has Deb Phi. I can't try to pronounce that, but we'll have to play that sometime maybe.
Yes.
That was cool. Well, thank you, Christian Fritz.
Yeah.
DJ Christian Fritz here with me on the Jazz Impulse tonight.
Thank you for playing some awesome Yola Tango that I had not heard in a very long time.
Had to. I've been into that record a lot lately. 2000 was the year of... And then Nothing Turned Itself Inside Out, which I think overall is a total masterpiece and a pretty moody record. You know, we usually do the moody stuff around 9 o'clock here on a Saturday night, but I thought I'd bring that out because I was feeling the vibes of the Air tune that we started that set off with as well, Casanova 70. And that was from like their EP that came out shortly after Moon Safari.
It came out, so the EP was like the 3 singles they did before Moon Safari, but like nobody bought it because nobody knew who they were.
Right.
And then it's funny, all roads lead us back to Astral Works because we were discussing Bees earlier.
Band of Bees.
Bees. And then Air.
It's all happening full circle here tonight, folks, on the Jazz Impulse. 612-668-1735. Number to call up and support what we do here on Jazz88. You can also do so on our website, jazz88.fm. And you can contribute. Get that blanket, that Jazz88 blanket. That's hot stuff.
Yes,
I'm saying.
It
literally.
looks so absolutely amazing.
I think it is worth every penny. $88.50 gets you the Jazz 88 blanket. But we'll take any denomination, any amount. I think we'll take even any kind of currency. Really,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
If we have some Thai friends out there listening, and what is the denominate? What's the what do they call money in Thailand?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've not been to Thailand, but I have had listeners from Australia before.
Oh, you
so,
have?
Yes.
Aussies out there. Awesome. We play a lot of Australian music here. We'll do some of that tonight, I think.
There's an amazing kind of jazz scene happening.
Yeah.
Like just, I don't know what's in the water over there.
I know.
But it's,
I talk about it all the time. And like, what are we doing here, people? We need that kind of scene here. We do have a great music scene here, and we're always representing it to you here on Jazz 88 and the Jazz Impulse every Saturday night, 7 to 10. Christian, we are going to play some more music, but we're going to take a little break as we do Twin Cities this week, and much more music coming up tonight on the Jazz Impulse. Jazz88.fm, the number to the website to go and contribute. The phone number, if you're an old school communicator, 612-668-1735. We'll be back with more of the Jazz Impulse tonight. Do stay tuned.
The BBC World Service is the world's largest international broadcaster.
World News.
World News. This is the World News.
From the BBC.
And with journalists located all around the world, we can cover stories when they happen, wherever they happen.
Let's go to our Moscow correspondent. This report from Zimbabwe.
Jonathan Head is in Bangkok.
Secunda Kamani joins us from Islamabad.
Global news you can trust from the BBC World Service.
At the top of each hour, weekdays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on 88.5.
It's time for Twin Cities Weekend. The South Side Aces present a night of New Orleans jazz at the Dakota in Minneapolis this coming Monday. The South Side Aces performs New Orleans jazz old and new. This Monday night at 7, the Aces are at the Dakota in Minneapolis with a show called A Night in New Orleans. Tony Bailiff leads the Southside Aces. When Tony met with Phil Nussbaum, the talk turned to the great appeal of New Orleans jazz to Tony and the Southside Aces.
The music was always meant to be a part, woven into the fabric of the community. And going back to the way it was played with 6 musicians playing as an ensemble but improvising at the same time. Even the earliest person, Buddy Bolden, in the late 1800s and early 1900s, was the first person to do what his contemporaries called, he was ragging on the melodies. He was taking the known ways of playing a song and improvising, and he legendarily started that whole ball rolling. And you get to the 1920s in New Orleans, the song Bogalusa Strut, and it's a song that the Aces play. We play a lot. We love that song. It's our sousaphone player's favorite song, and it just has that spirit of everyone contributing at the same time. We're improvising but somehow weaving it all together, and that's that exciting potential of harmony 1 second and smashing into one another the next second is just, it's an unbearable excitement.
Okay, the Southside Aces, Bogalusa Strut. We're speaking with Tony Bailiff, clarinet player for the Southside Aces, and that's an old New Orleans number called the Bogalusa Strut from the Sam Morgan Band repertoire. But it's also very jazz to play songs from whatever happens to be popular at a given time. And the Southside Aces do a take on a 2007 hit song by Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
When I was being brought up in the music by Charlie DeVore, who was a member of the Hall Brothers Jazz Band, he kind of shook his head when I said that we were going to do an Amy Winehouse tune. But then I reminded him that one of his main mentors was a trumpet player named Kid Thomas, who in the 50s was playing songs like Jambalaya on the Bayou by Hank Williams, because those were the hits at that time. And even though he was leading a jazz band just like ours, a 6 or 7 piece jazz band, he wasn't going to ignore what people were listening to on the radio. And New Orleans music has always been able to absorb whatever's going on. And so, yeah, we love doing that. Even Charlie came around eventually.
Tony, the Southside Aces band does a lot of older music, but you compose and the group does your compositions, and you're informed, of course, by the likes of Jelly Roll Morton and Louis Armstrong, but are there some contemporary people that influence you?
There's a clarinetist, Evan Christopher. He does a lot of composing of original music, and one of the ways that you get influenced is when somebody who plays this older style of jazz decides to compose at all, and that they allow whatever has influenced them in their career to come forth in their compositions. I would also count Wynton Marsalis for a couple of things. He not only does his own compositions, but he explores the older music, and he explores it sometimes with newer expressions of it. He did a whole album of Jelly Roll Morton. His expression of Jelly Roll Morton was not only to pay homage to how Jelly Roll composed and recorded his music, but he recorded it in ways that showed that we were in a different decade and that we were in a different time.
We were talking earlier about one of your compositions, Tony, that's performed by the Southside Aces, the St. Anthony Strut.
It depicts a death, and it goes through to a mourning, and it eventually gets to the strut. And I'm doing it with ideas and music that influenced me from Jelly Roll Morton and King Oliver, who were writing their music a century ago.
We'll listen to a little of the St. Anthony Strut and catch the part where the mood changes from minor to major. Southside Aces performs A Night in New Orleans this Monday, October 7th at 7 p.m. at the Dakota in Minneapolis. For information, the web address is dakotacooks.com. This program is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Phil Nussbaum speaking.
Hello, this is Ian Shaw, and coming up on the next Ronnie Scott's radio show, well, I'm going to be chatting to the club's head of music to find out what exciting treats we've got in store for you between now and Christmas.
Some of the people playing in the late shows pop up in so many bands, like Locks, for instance. Saw him last night playing with China Moses. He's going to be playing with Greg Sparrow. So these people are really getting a name for themselves.
So join Sarah Weller and me on the next Ronnie Scott's radio show.
Tuesday night from 8 on Jazz 88.
It's the Jazz Impulse
We aren't satisfied until you are.
on Jazz 88.
Situation how you want. Right. The loving that you claim is just a four-letter word. The third letter's inviting, so visualize the verb. You curve thought ways when you're handling the candelabra. So you're sitting on the baby grand, transmitting like you made a man. But you paint a funny face like a chick. When I see you, I'ma tell you quick that
it ain't all good. And that's true. Things ain't going like you think they should.
I can't believe we built this large pizza pie together, no pepperoni. Yeah, you wanted extra cheese, sometimes I gave you extras. How we divided slice was like the Red Sea theory. I was Moses hopelessly scorned by your thorns, Zipporah. Tried to bring that fairy tale life, you wanted horror. But my microscope couldn't see a cope with that. I had to bolt from that and left it dead in the sea. It's better for me, I'm satisfied with repping for D.
We were certified hot, then dropped to lukewarm. Now we back up in the spot, claiming never been gone. Zigging or cut us off, wanna reattach us now. Them girls who brush us off say they want some numbers to dial. Yeah, I get that ass a number and some lumber to pound and catch a curve from my kid. Won't show me love if I break. So stick to the same plan. Don't come shaking my hand like we peeps. It ain't beef, but be sure to understand between us it ain't all
good. And that's true. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. And that's true. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all on you.
You see, them kids be scheming on what we done cop. Instead of feeding for the moment, they can get us off the block. Your people might have the back, but you need to watch the front. Indeed, ain't nothing guaranteed. A lot say they wanna walk in my size 10s. Alright then, here's a pair. Lace them up tight, then you might feel what was dealt to me. You see, ain't no young boys up in here. Keep a clear head, trying to keep my pockets on stuff. Like dear heads upon the wall, so all the gold we get from y'all don't phase. So mind your biz and walk your ways, cause I'm never gonna let you up inside my maze.
I don't care about what you think you say. Things you want to know when you look at me. God knows I done been there and paid my dues. I can't just how you feel, cause it's all on you. It ain't all good. And that's true. Things ain't going like you think they should. It's all on you.
You gotta love those 80s drum machines, Christian.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Stetsasonic, blazing the airwaves here. 1988, Tommy Boy Records. And Sally. Loving the hip-hop tonight. Loving all the vibes we're trying to bring here on the Jazz Impulse here at Jazz 88. We had some De La Soul before that. It's going back to 2000. Feels like so long ago.
I know. It does and it doesn't.
Because it was. They had a little assist from Chaka Khan on All Good. It is all good here tonight at Jazz 88, mainly because of you. Our loyal listeners have been really coming through for us. Just loving all the support. 612-668-1735 is the number to call up and contribute to Jazz 88. Keep the vibes rolling, the party. Okay. And Prince Paul was part of the Stetsasonic crew, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, my hip-hop history is a little, spotty, but...
The Jazz 88 Business
Circle
is a community of businesses and organizations.
All right. Be cool. This is...
I didn't know about the Jazz 88 Business Circle sample at the end of Stetsasonic.
You're learning so much
Yes.
here tonight. And Dana from Minneapolis made a pledge. She so appreciates the addition of me on this music curation. That is so sweet. Thank you, Dana.
I'm not going to try to take it personally.
No,
but,
she loves Christian too.
No,
I have a
kidding.
feeling Dana is a big fan of Jazz 88, as are most of our listeners who've all been contributing tonight. Jazz88.fm. You can go online and click the blue Donate Now button.
And she and all of you should be fans of the Jazz Impulse because
I
it
hope
is
so.
a very wonderful. It's kind of like, a good precursor to your Saturday night. Like you kind of post dinner,
Yeah.
gonna go see your thing,
yeah.
or maybe you're,
I think we need to come up with the Jazz Impulse aperitif that we can market
love it.
for people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of been that's on the to-do list. But it is a real treat, and it's almost coming up to a year that I've been doing this show Saturday nights. So I've we've been trying a lot of different stuff. Bringing live music to the air is always a wonderful thing and a privilege to do when the planets align and we're able to do so. We had Kavyesh Kavaraj last week. Julian Lage did a show recently from the Fitzgerald. And we got to broadcast some of that. And I got some really good ones coming up. I don't know if we're going to unveil them just yet. But in October, we got some a really cool one that's happening through the end of the year.
Could you give us a very vague hint?
It's going to be popping. We'll play some of the next band we're going to do in October. It's happening the 19th of October. So maybe there's a little hint out there.
Nice.
But they are from the UK. Me and Christian kind of play like this is like our little trivia round here. So that in and of itself is what we like to do here on the radio, and it only happens because of your support. Jazz88.fm and 612-668-1735, the number to call up and be like Dana, who's so sweet and supportive. We really appreciate all the support we've been getting here tonight, and it's just going to keep rolling and getting more fun here, I think. And as we kind of experiment and do things, we get some traditions of like having people on and doing the live thing and guest DJs. I'm just all about it. Christian, you got to always kind of like, maybe you're like a regular check-in guy and you can come,
I would love that.
I know you're a busy guy on Saturday nights. You got a big wedding coming up.
Well, yeah. Well, not me personally. So,
Okay.
don't scare off the ladies.
Of course.
I'm available.
Well, so
I'm DJing a wedding.
He's DJing a wedding coming up. And, I'm always skeptical of a couple who doesn't have a first dance song in mind. So, I don't know. It's a little... A little Dr. Phil of me, but
I know what my first dance would be, and I don't even have any potential. I'm not that crazy, but yeah.
Maybe at your wedding you'll throw down some Gabor Szabo.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, a Gabor Szabo kind of wedding. And I played a tune from him last week from his 1969 record, which is also the title.
Yeah.
Do you know that one?
Wonderful.
It's
wonderful
so good.
stuff.
Yeah, he's doing some Beatles on there. But this record, I believe, is this his first record?
It's his first Sky record. He did records for Impulse before that.
Yeah.
So he was already on.
Oh, this
the
is
scene.
post Impulse.
Yeah. So
Okay.
him and Gary McFarlane and Kel Jader tried, and I think it didn't even last 2 years because it was kind of a mess. But they had a short-lived record label of their own called Sky Records.
Yeah.
Where they put out their own stuff, but then like Gary McFarlane was like producing stuff. Like he produced like a Wendy and Bonnie record that Sunday's reissue, which is like a crazy, awesome kind of like flower pop record, and a bunch of other stuff. But I was telling Danny about this record, and I've probably talked about this on previous pledge drives.
Yeah.
I love my psych rock. Like my favorite music still is probably like psych and no wave. And that kind of strangely led me to like a lot of the jazz I love.
Yeah.
And I bought this record, Dreams, his 68 record, because I love the cover. It was a cheapo. It was like a $2 or $3 record. It was barely played. And a lot of those records like just are bad. I have a lot of records with amazing covers that are just not anything you'd want to put on. And I totally expected like this was going to just go on the wall.
No.
And I got this record, and the first track we're hearing from Dreams, Galtia's guitar. I think I played this song about 6 times in a row before I even played anything else on the record.
It really had your attention.
Yeah.
I think Gabor Szabo kind of turned me into a guitar. Like, I love jazz guitar. And, his work kind of really does get into the psychedelic realms. And it's a nice bridge in between different kind of styles of music as well, especially if you're going into like a rock set or something more Eastern sounding and whatnot. So yeah, let's play some guys. This is the Dreams record. Do you remember what year this record?
68.
68. And the tune we're going to hear, the first tune, Gala T's guitar. Do you know the story? Who's Gala T?
No idea.
Okay. Well, let folks do their homework. But in the meantime, go to jazz88.fm and contribute. Be a part of this fun drive here, this fall drive here at Jazz 88. 612-668-1735. It's Gabor Szabo on the Jazz Impulse. still listening? Christian, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
There I am.
And I hope people are still listening.
I think they're still listening. Something about these headphones. Okay. We're still keeping it together here, folks. This is Jazz 88 and the Jazz Impulse, looking at some Twin Cities weather stuff. Lows in the upper 40s tonight, west winds and gusts up to 30. They upped it even 40 miles an hour after midnight tonight. Yeah, let's let Gabor just keep the party going. Looking at lows in the upper 40s, currently 61 degrees in the Twin Cities. This is the Jazz Impulse. We're getting very near. We're getting into the third hour tonight and loving all the support we've gotten from our listeners. 612-668-1735, number to call up. Jazz88.fm is where you can go online and become a part of Jazz 88.
And as Danny mentioned with his headphones issues, that's why we need you to be a member.
Yeah.
So we have working headphones.
So this all happens the way it's supposed to. This is, I was going to play some Birds after that last
wow,
tune.
nice.
Yeah. But I want to tell folks they are listening to 88.5 KBEM FM, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
Get out my life, woman. You don't love me no
see my way around. Get out my eyes, teardrops. I've got to see my way around. Get out my eyes, teardrops. I've got heartaches by the pound.
Some time in the late 60s here tonight on Jazz 88. This is the Jazz Impulse and the Butterfield Blues Band doing Lee Dorsey tune. It's from the East West record, 1966. Yeah, I just love those records. I love Paul Butterfield.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Before that, the Byrds did Moog Raga. Did we figure out what record that or what era that was?
Recorded. It was recorded during the Notorious Byrd Brothers record, which is one after Sweetheart of the Rodeo, I believe, and it's still a country rock record.
Yeah,
it was left off the record. I don't know why. I mean, it would have been awesome to have this country rock record, and in the middle of it, we would just have this like Moog Raga.
Yeah.
Like I would have loved it, but like, yeah.
Sean McPherson had a term for it, a style of music that involves a lot of random keyboards like that. It's called I just bought a keyboard yesterday style of music.
The thing was with the early days of the Moog, like there's a lot of that.
Yeah, everybody had it. New sounds were abound.
Yep.
And we're bringing them to you here tonight on the Jazz Impulse. We're having a lot of fun. Sometimes I throw in a song that's really kind of out there as kind of a test.
I love it.
Yeah. And often those are the ones that people ask me about, like, wow, that was amazing. So yeah, I feel like we're doing the right thing here on Jazz 88. 612-668-1735. Number to call up and support Jazz 88. The Fall Drive, y'all. Jazz88.fm is where you can do so online.
And there's a really awesome blanket that you can get for an $88.50 donation. I'm already thinking my dog is kind of a gray heather dog, and she would steal this blanket, and it's navy blue, so it might actually like complement each other.
Yeah, the dog would commandeer the blanket.
Yeah, well, the dog's going to commandeer the blanket, no matter what color it is.
You know, cats don't always like new blankets. They kind of want it worn in a little bit. So I don't know if I'll have that problem, but I'd be happy to get a Jazz 88 blanket for my cat. I think she's deserving. She's listening to us right now, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Pink. This has just been an incredible night, and we got a long ways to go here on the Jazz Impulse. Just a treat to do for every Saturday here on Jazz 88. We're coming up to our year anniversary of doing this, and it just keeps getting better. And that's because of all the support from our audience. Jazz88.fm, 612-668-1735. You know, Christian, I hadn't queued up the song that you gave me the option here.
Yes.
But, should we talk about Estate?
Yes.
Because I think we were maybe their fan club.
Yes. Estate is a band that I saw a few times back at the 331 Club.
Yeah.
With this disc come out, give or take, somewhere around the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember them being very awesome and wearing smoking jackets when they would play.
Yeah.
And they were like kind of an underappreciated thing, but Danny was like one of the first people to tell me about them.
Yeah.
And I think we might even have DJ'd and had them play at one of the,
I feel like we did a party with them. I'm trying to remember, what's the song that's like Minnesota? Is it Fortis Ride? What I remember most about him, this band, Estate, I don't remember what year this came out, but I was a DJ at the Current at the time on NPR, and the wait person at where I was eating that night was kind of sheepish, and he gave me this CD. He said, "Oh, you should check out my band. You know, I'm sorry, I know, you know, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, let's check it out." I loved it. I thought it was really cool. So that sometimes is how the magic happens, and we're just happy to bring it to you here on Jazz 88. 612-668-1735, jazz88.fm, and let's play Estate. I picked track number 4. I think that's the Minnesota one.
We'll find out.
We'll find out
together.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a working CD player in my house. I still
Right.
have hundreds of CDs.
Yeah.
That I ripped a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
But when
Yeah.
I do the show, it's kind of like
it's a real
nice. That,
it's a nice outlet for you.
Yes.
Okay, let's spin it for everybody else here. It's on Jazz 88.
Jazz 88 Business Circle is a community of businesses and organizations who support our mission of jazz and education while expanding their reach with our devoted listeners. Members include the Capri Theater, RLC Jazz, Theater in the Round, the Women's Club of Minneapolis, and the Walker Art Center. Find more information about our Business Circle members and how to join at jazz88.fm.
If your organization is doing good in our community, Jazz88 wants to help get the word out. We can promote any event, volunteering opportunity, or fundraiser that provides service to the youth, seniors, or the arts. We'll make sure your organization is able to reach the people you need. Just send an email and tell us about your cause at info@jazz88.fm. That is info@jazz88.fm.
We're going to start a live recording right now. We're going to play for you our first tune tonight. It's going to be about 4 tunes. And the first tune is called Olóhun Tá Wá Ṣe Ń Yàrá Jẹ́ Ká Bẹ̀rẹ̀. Now, which means, let's start what we have come into the room to do. Right on. Here goes. 1, 2, 3.
And you're listening to Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse. And, you know, Fela Kuti, I feel like really the inspiration behind a lot of what I do here on the Jazz Impulse. And by that I mean he just really embodied a spirit of kind of randomosity, kind of the impulsive nature, the driving force of the beat in Afrobeat sound, combining jazz and funk, even rock in a lot of his music. So,
and there's just so much awesome music that comes out of Africa, like especially in like the 70s, and it's all basically because of the influence of James Brown and Fela Kuti. And I don't think they particularly liked each other, but like the influence of these two guys created just there's just so much great
I think there was a story. James Brown came to Africa and Fela refused to meet him. Or
I think it was during the whole Rumble in the Jungle.
Yes. So happy to bring Fela Kuti to you here on a Saturday night. And with an assist on that tune, you heard both Tony Allen on drums as well as Ginger Baker. So that is just such a cool record that they did together. I think it's from a live concert. Estate in there before that. Long gone Minneapolis duo. I don't think either one of them live here anymore, but we are... It was really a joy to hear Fortis Night from that record, which came out, I don't know, forever ago.
I want to say 2000, or maybe it was even like 2002, maybe.
Mixing it up for you here on the Jazz Impulse. This is the Fall Drive, and we've had so much support from our listeners. I have the best listeners on a Saturday. I got to tell you. Chris in Edina got the Jazz 88 blanket.
Yes.
He loves the station, has it on all the time. I hear that from a lot of people that listen to Jazz 88. They just have it going on in the background. You know, I have my radio in my kitchen playing all the time. So thank you for riding along with us, especially on a Saturday night tonight and all the time on Jazz 88. Jazz88.fm is where you can go on our website and contribute, be a part of this fall drive here. And 612-668-1735. Peter Solomon's out there answering phones. Him and Andrew are on the phones tonight, and they're ready for you. So do call in 612-668-1735 and support Jazz 88. Christian, I got some records in the mail today.
That is so awesome.
It's a good day.
Yes.
They say every good day above ground's a good one, but if you get records on those days, it's even better.
So for me personally, I can be having the worst day ever, and there's two things that will always make me happy.
Yeah.
One, seeing my dog, even though she's just like, you. But then also getting records in the mail.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yes,
no, it saved
turns
me.
everything around.
It saved me during the pandemic for sure. And still getting records. It's a joy when you kind of order something months ago and then there it comes out. And I was going to say the other thing that keeps me really happy are those yellow Hostess cupcakes. You know, like they make the chocolate ones with the little curly Q's. I'm all about the yellow ones.
Excellent. I'm one of those pumpkin weirdos. So right now, it's like it's my season.
Hey, no shame. No shame in the pumpkin spice game, my friend.
They did used to take it a little further than they.
Hey, I don't think there's a limit with the pumpkin spice, but
the pumpkin spice Pringles year was like a bad idea. And of course, I bought it knowing it was going to be a bad idea.
Yeah,
and it was a bad.
I got some haunted potato chips the other day.
Oh, nice.
Those were interesting. Parlor Greens are out of, I believe, Seattle, and I just got their latest release in the mail. It's called In Green We Dream.
Jimmy James used to be the guitarist for Delvin Lamar Organ Trio.
Yeah.
Also on Coal Mine.
On the same label. Yeah, Jimmy James is an incredible guitarist, so you're going to hear a lot of that on this tune. And this song, I kind of like this title because I'm a culprit with the Irish goodbyes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's the name of this tune. So we are going to go to the turntable, play some Parlor Greens for you, but encourage you to become a part of this fall drive here at Jazz 88, jazz88.fm, 612-668-1735. It's on the Jazz Impulse.
Não sei por que razão eu sofro tanto em minha vida. A minha alegria é uma coisa tão fingida. A felicidade já é coisa esquecida. Mas agora eu vou recomeçar. Não vou ser mais triste, vou mudar daqui pra frente. E a minha escrita vai ser muito diferente. A filosofia vou mudar em minha mente, pois agora eu vou recomeçar. Quero amor e quero amar. Quero a vida aproveitar. Talvez até arranje alguém. Alguém que eu possa acreditar. Pois agora vou recomeçar. E daqui pra frente eu vou mudar. eu vou recomeçar. Não vou ser mais triste, vou mudar daqui pra frente. E a minha escrita vai ser muito diferente. A filosofia vou mudar em minha mente, pois agora eu vou recomeçar. Quero amor e quero amar. Quero a vida aproveitar. Talvez até arranje alguém, alguém que eu possa acreditar. Pois agora eu vou recomeçar. E daqui pra frente eu vou mudar.
Tune in here on Monday nights at 7 for Minnesota Jazz Tracks. You'll hear local legends like Irv Williams or Jeannie Arlen Peterson, distinctive Minnesota artists like Happy Apple or L.A. Buckner. Old and new, near and not too far, we'll see what's been going on in music around these parts. That's Minnesota Jazz Tracks with me, Sam, Monday nights 7 to 9 on Jazz 88.
Programming on Jazz 88 is supported by a generous donation from the estate of Jeffrey James Lowhouse. For information on how to make Jazz 88 part of your charitable giving, email the Development Department, development@jazz88.fm.
The Jazz Impulse with weekly host Danny Sigelman traverses the sonic landscape that is the soundtrack to your Saturday night.
Why they can put the competition to bed without supper.
On Jazz 88.
A small boy walked the city street, and hope was in his eyes as he searched the faces of the people he'd meet for one he could recognize. Brother, where are you? They told me that you came this way. Brother, where are you? They said you came this way. As he searched the faces of the people he'd meet, they were cold and hard as stone. The small boy whimpered and began to cry because he was all alone. Brother, where are you? They told me that you came this way. Brother, where are you? They said you came this way. Now there are many who will swear it's true. Brothers, aren't we all? But yet I know of very few who would answer a brother's call. Brother, where are you? They told me that you came this way. Brother, where are you? They said you came this way. They said you came this way. They said you came this way. Brother, where are you? They said you came this way.
Listening to Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse, your Saturday night soundtrack, and winding things down. Man, that was a banger, Christian.
It's just a jam. Like it's just like, and like, unfortunately, he did not do a lot of music that was that
groovy.
That groovy. But but the one record from Nat King Cole's younger brother, Freddie Cole, who just passed away a couple years ago, did this wonderful record, I think in 1977, called The Cole That Nobody Knows. And that Brother, Where Are You track is it's just such a jam.
Yeah. What year did you say that was?
I think it's 77.
77. Okay. Smoking, man. And, you know, you look that 45 up and it goes for a lot of money, but we're bringing it to the people here on the radio tonight. That was great. Freddie Cole, where are you? And our own Peter Solomon let me know that Abby Lincoln and Max Roach did a cool version of that tune as well.
I need to track that down because I love the stuff that Max Roach and
kiss that record buying money goodbye.
There you go. No,
But we are so thankful for all the listeners tonight that have been supporting the Jazz Impulse and Jazz 88. If you haven't yet, you still got time, my friends. 612-668-1735, the number to call up. Also, jazz88.fm.
And we
on the World Wide Web.
Really quick, some Gal Costa.
Oh yeah, Gal Costa. Yep. 1969.
Yep.
And we started the set off with Parlor Greens, New Sounds here. We play some new music.
Yes.
I think a lot of this music is new to most people in any way. So, you know what, kind of like mixing the old and new and making it seem really seamless and natural on Jazz 88. That's what we do every day here. And we love all the support. The people that get it. If you know, you know. And a lot of people know the spirit that we try to bring here every day on Jazz 88. 612-668-1735.
And I was just going to say, speaking of the spirit, before this record came out from the Parlor Greens from Seattle, a former Jazz 88 staff person by the name of Justice Sanchez, that many of you will remember.
Yeah, I do.
He texted me out of the blue a few months before this record came out and was just like, check this out. And was sending me video footage of the Parlor Greens playing outside at a park in Seattle. And so we're keeping the spirit alive.
And that's the spirit of sharing the music that we do here on Jazz 88. And the fact that people are so patient and open to learning about new music and some older sounds, it all blends together. And it's because of all our listeners' support. And we have so much, we've got a little bit more to cover here. So let's get into that because we want to do a tribute to our friend Ed. It's the 5-year anniversary of the passing of Ed Ackerson.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday was the 5th year anniversary. It doesn't seem like it was 5 years ago.
No.
It was still strange to me because I knew something was up with him. He didn't talk about it, and I went. The Who played the XL Energy Center.
Yeah,
and that's how I found out he was sick with cancer. Is that
he got a shout out.
Yeah, he got a shout out. Like a friend of mine was just like, "Hey, we can get really great. I want to take my kid to see the Who. We can get really great floor seats for $100." We were like row 12 center stage. I was just like, I've been further away at bands that first have, and all of a sudden Pete Townshend's like, "Stay strong, Ed," and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but amazing guy. Was in the 27 Various. Was in Polera, who we're gonna hear in a minute. Produced hundreds, if not more.
Yeah, he really was kind of our, kind of that not outsider artist type, but the type of artist that just constantly creating and making music and putting out stuff, and loved the design and was full on with all aspects of music, and just a really fun guy to talk to about music, and played and performed a lot. And this record, we got a Polera record. Polera was Ed's band.
Yeah, well, this is from Jetpack Blues, but this is like on a compilation where we're gonna get the November mix.
The November mix
of Is This It, which I think came out before the album.
Yeah, in October, no less.
Yes.
So shout out and rest in power to Ed Ackerson here. This song is called Is This It? It's on the Jazz Impulse tonight. It's Polera.
Say
Be sure you join us Sunday nights at 8 for some really great music on Sinatra and Friends. Frank, Ella, Tony, and a host of other great American songbook singers, along with some of the best bands ever. That's Sunday nights at 8, exclusively here on Jazz 88.
The Jazz Impulse fills your Saturday night up right on Jazz 88.
Jazz Impulse presents music that's lighting up stages around town, live in studio and in the clubs, guest DJ sets, and special guests. It's the soundtrack to your Saturday night. The Jazz Impulse, tonight, 7 to 10 on Jazz 88. Armed and dangerous indeed. The Jazz Impulse. It's every Saturday night here. We have such a great time, and it's even better with all the support we've been getting tonight. So many people calling up. 612-668-1735. Number to call up and support Jazz 88. Thank you, Christian, for being my co-host tonight.
Thank you for having me. This has been a lovely time. This has been super fun. Just to
you're feeling the love.
Yes,
giving it and receiving it.
And I got to play some Gene Simmons.
Looking at weather, lows in the upper 40s tonight. Some heavy winds happening after midnight tonight. Looking at wind of about 30 to 40 miles an hour after midnight. Currently 61 degrees in the Twin Cities. And we can't thank everybody enough. 612-668 is 668-1735, number to call up, and jazz88.fm. We're feeling the love. We're feeling the support here on Jazz 88 tonight. Thank you. Going to be turning things over to Jazz Night in America with Christian McBride in a moment.
And Bad Bad Not Good on tonight. I love them.
That is cool.
Yes.
Yeah, love that band. Okay, yeah. Any parting words, Christian?
Just the station is an amazing thing we have here in the Twin Cities. We're very blessed and very fortunate to have the jazz scene we do in the city, in the cities, and to be a part of that. So if you feel that way, please support us, and we'll keep show us some love, and we'll keep showing the love to you.
Yeah. When are you on the air again?
Wednesday.
You're going to be on Wednesday night?
Yep,
Jazz Futures.
Jazz Futures, and there'll be a live Soul Village from our station as well. So
it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great week here at Jazz 88, and it's because of you, our listeners, and all the support. 612-668-1735, jazz88.fm. Have a great night, a great weekend. We'll see you next week here on the Jazz Impulse.
.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
This is Jazz Night in America. I'm Christian McBride. Through this show, we bring you music from all over the country, straight from the source, in small clubs, ornate concert halls, and maybe